Saxons, I'm Ms. Masters, your North High librarian, and today I'm going to walk you through how to access and use our online academic research databases. Let's begin by defining some terms. A database collects a lot of digital information in one spot so that you can research it all at once. An academic research database specifically collects scholarly articles, research studies, books, and news reports. These databases, which the library purchases subscriptions to so that you can access them for free, make your life as a student easier because all of the sources they offer are trustworthy ones. When you do a Google search of the open web, the vast majority of your results are going to be total BS. Any fool can create a website that looks professional and sounds convincing, but is full of lies. This means that when you use the open web for research, you have to play detective. What makes the author of this piece an expert on this subject? Or are they not an expert at all? Can the information in one source be verified by information in other independent sources? Or was it just made up for this article? Doing all this detective work takes a long time that could be better spent writing your essay or creating your podcast or whatever your assignment is. Academic databases do this detective work for you. They don't even include unreliable sources. They only let you search high-quality, well-sourced, expert-reviewed information that you can trust to be accurate. Now that we know what it is we're accessing, let's actually access it. The easiest way to access the library's website for the first time is from North High School's website, northhighschool.org. In the Our School drop-down menu, there is a link for the library, which we're going to click. When you get to the library's website for the first time, I recommend you bookmark it, which will save the website for you so that you don't have to do this two-step process to get to it next time. Click on the star in the URL bar at the top of the page, and now the library's website has been saved to your bookmarks. You can go directly there next time, instead of going to the school website first and then to the library's website. We have lots of great information and resources on the website. If you've never used it before, you really do need to check it out. For today, we're going to click on Online Research in the main menu at the top of the page. If you were doing this on your own, you would want to slowly scroll through your options and read the summaries so that you can make an informed choice about what resource to use for your project and the information you need. For the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to click on Academic Research Databases. As you can see, we have 3 of them. SIRS Issues Researcher provides information about both sides of controversial current topics and events. This is a great resource if you're preparing for a debate or writing a persuasive paper. The other 2 databases, ProQuest and EBSCO, do basically the same thing. They gather lots of books, lots of academic journals, lots of videos, lots of magazines, and let you search them all at once. But they gather different books, different academic journals, different videos, and different magazines. So if you can't find the information you need in one of these databases, you can switch to the other, run the same search, and get totally different results. For today, we're going to use EBSCO, just because we can. EBSCO isn't set up to use Google or Clever. For EBSCO, we need a password. If you come to the library, I'm happy to give you a paper that has the usernames and passwords for all of the library's subscription resources, as well as a very quick review of the information I'm going to give you now about how to search academic research databases. If you don't want a paper copy or you had one and lost it, never fear. You can get it on the pages of the library's website where I think you might need it. For example, that academic research database page that we were just on has a link to the usernames and passwords that you need. It's just slow to open. There we go. I am trying to access EBSCO, so I can take a look at or I can copy and paste the username and password for EBSCO into the EBSCO page where it says enter username. The most comprehensive resource I can select for a research paper on any topic is EBSCO Host, which is what I'm going to choose now. You'll be taken to a search screen, which you could just jump straight into as though it were Google. I guarantee, though, that if you use it this way, you'll be disappointed in your results. You'll get way too many, which will feel overwhelming, and many of them won't be relevant to your topic, which will frustrate you. You'll end up thinking these online databases aren't helpful at all, and you'll head back to the open web, where you'll type in a search, choose the first result that pops up, and just have to hope it contains information that's actually true and relevant. Instead of this aimless searching and clicking, I'm going to encourage you to put a little extra effort into your process so that you can get exactly the results you want. Let me show you what I mean. Let us say that I've just finished reading Lord of the Flies, and now I'm writing a paper on whether humans are inherently good or evil. I need some hard facts to back up the opinion that I formed while reading the book, which is that people are born bad. Watch me do a search as though I were Googling. I'm typing human beings are evil. And then of course I'm hitting enter. So the first not awesome thing that I see is that I have 1,623 search results, which is way too many for me to read through in order to find one or two sources to cite in my project. Secondly, as I scroll through my results, I see the first few are pretty okay, but then I get to God is not a moral being, which is about whether God is good or evil, not people. And it looks like this one here is about whether extraterrestrials are good or evil. And it seems that this one is about a novel called The Fate of Our Union, which could be about good and evil, but I'm not going to quote another novel in an analysis of the novel that I just read. Oh Lord, and Can Dr. Evil Save the World appears to be about the effect of climate change on human beings, which really has nothing to do with anything. So this is not great. If those first couple of results don't give me anything I can use, I'm kind of screwed. So let's try talking to the search engine in its own language, which is called Boolean, the Boolean language. I want to prove that human nature is inherently evil. I'm going to start with the term human nature. Now, because it's two words but only one idea, I'm going to put it in quotation marks, which are part of the Boolean language's vocabulary. The quotation marks tell the search engine that I want it to search for several words as one term. So I don't want it to give me search results that have human in them and different results that have nature in them. I only want results that have human nature as one phrase in that exact order. I also only want results that talk about human nature being evil, right? I'm going to type the all capitalized word and, which is another command in the Boolean language. It tells the search engine that I want my results to include both the word before the and the word after. So I don't want results that only include one word or the other. I want results that include both words at the same time. My second word is going to be, of course, evil, and I hit enter to search. Good news. I now have only 464 results. It's still a lot, but it's way more manageable than the 1,600 plus I had before. And these results should be way more relevant than the last ones, which had stuff about climate change and aliens in them, if you recall. Let's look at some other ways I can narrow down these results until I only have the stuff that's best for my project. One way to limit your results is by full text, which is just under the search bar at the top of the page. This one is super important. In fact, I would say that 99% of the time you only want full text results. Full text means you can read all of the source and you can read it through this database. So you won't get like excerpts of things, you'll get the things themselves and you'll be able to read them right here. So check full text. I'm down to 249 results because I've eliminated ones that I would have to go somewhere else to read. Let's also limit our search results by source type. Sometimes my common sense tells me what sources I want to use and what I don't. For example, this project has already been assigned and has a due date already set. If there were any books in my search results, I would want to exclude them, meaning leave them out, because I don't have time to read a whole book right now. This is also something that you need to talk to your teacher about. Sometimes a teacher will be very specific about what kind of sources they do and don't want you to get your information from. In this case, my teacher has asked for articles from scholarly journals only, or I guess in this case they call it an academic journal. So I am going to click on academic journals and now apply, and my search results will be from that one type of publication only. You can also limit your search results by publication date. Just under the search bar, the drop-down menu currently says all time. If I click on it, you can see that the default publication selections are all time, past 12 months, past 5 years, and past 10 years. For some assignments, when your search results were published doesn't matter, but sometimes you need the most up-to-date information, and sometimes you need a primary source published during a specific time in history. If you click all filters over to the left, the publication date option will also give you custom date range. If you need, for example, a newspaper article from World War II, you could limit your source to newspapers and your date range to 1941 through 1945, the years that America officially fought in World War II, and you'd get only newspaper articles from those years. In this case, I don't think that the nature of human beings changes much, so I maybe don't need the newest information, but it's good to stay up to date with recent theories. So I'm going to narrow my results to those published in the last 5 years. Don't forget to hit apply. And now I'm down to just 23 results. I want to pause and say here that research is the most difficult and time-consuming part of any project that requires it. Yes, it's not easy to write a paper or create a podcast, but if you're doing it correctly, then it's the research that's the hardest. If you feel like you've spent forever searching and modifying searches and narrowing down searches and reading things that have nothing to do with your topic in order to find something that does, then you're doing it right. You know that's how finding good info works. It's exactly the same as when you're about to drop a bunch of money on an expensive new something, whether that something is sneakers, electronics, or a car. You don't just type best car into Google and buy whatever pops up first. You narrow your search to fit your personal parameters, size, gas mileage, cost, whatever you care about. Then you visit a few different automotive websites and do some comparisons. Then you talk to a friend who owns your top choice, and they actually hate a bunch of its features, so you have to start all over again with a new search that excludes that car you thought you wanted. Then you realize you actually have no idea how to get a car loan, so you have to search that too. And before you know it, you've spent most of an entire weekend settling on a Toyota Camry, which is what your parents wanted you to get in the first place. No research is simple, so don't freak out when yours takes you a while. At some point, we do have to start reading these search results to see if they apply to our assignment. I'm going to click on a result at random here. The first information that you'll see is the basics: title, author, publication date, and location, stuff like that. If your search result has this, an abstract, then you are in luck. It's a fancy term for summary, and it means you can limit your first read to just the abstract. If you read the abstract and it doesn't sound relevant to your project, you can stop reading and go back to your search results to look for something else. If the abstract sounds useful, you can continue to read the full text of the article, which may be further down the page or may require you to click a button for access. Don't quote from or reference an abstract in an assignment because it isn't an actual source. It's a summary of a source. So in this case, when I scroll down, I see that the full source is not here. There is a button up top for access options. I can either access it online or I can access it as a PDF. So I make my choice, and there it is. Perfect. From both this page and the previous page, there is something extremely important that you need to do before you navigate away from your article. When you find something that works for your project, don't leave it behind without saving it somehow. I can't stress this enough. If you don't save a relevant search result, the only way to find it again is to exactly replicate every step of the search you previously performed in the order you performed it, which there is no way you will remember when you need it. Ways to save a search result are in the upper right-hand corner. The little bookmark will save the result to EBSCO. That's this website. In order to access it again, you'll need to create an account on EBSCO. And once you've created that account, you can create projects within it and save results to those projects. So you could have a project for English class called Lord of the Flies and save everything you want to use in your assignment to that folder. You could also have other assignments. Maybe there's one called US History, or there's one called Chemistry, and you save different search results to those different folders. You could also download this result, which would save it as a PDF to your computer. I recommend you use that option at home and not on a school or a public device. If you click on the share arrow, you'll also see options for emailing your result to yourself or to a group member, saving it to your Google Drive, or creating a link to it. You can collect links in a Google Doc and just click on them to take yourself back to each of your results. You can also cite your source, which will help you find it later, but we'll talk more about that in the videos about citing sources and creating bibliographies. For now, just know that you have to save results that you want to use later before you navigate away from them, or they will be lost in the vastness of the internet. Remember back when we had 1,600 results? You don't want to look through them all just to find this one again. Everything that we've done here to search EBSCO can also be used to search ProQuest. It has all the same features. You'll just need to look around the screen a little bit because some of them are in different places. Don't panic. And always remember that if you need help, you can drop by the library before school, at break, at lunch, or after school. See you soon, Saxons.